Thank you again for joining us this week. This week, we're very lucky to have Afham Fariz with us. Afham, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Mr. Nordin. Thank you for inviting me and giving me this opportunity to talk. And yeah, it's a very good afternoon to discuss and talk something interesting, right?
Exactly. And one of the things that I'm excited to hear about is one, your company and what you're doing. But we're going to be talking about live streaming.
Mhm.
And one of the things that we've seen recently is this like massive shift into the digital world.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that now. Tell us a bit about what you're thinking of in terms of the business opportunity of live streaming, and tell us a bit about what you're doing with your company.
Okay. Before that, my name is Afham Faris, and I am the founder and CEO of Life, a live streaming social network platform with integrated e-commerce. So what we are doing is actually we want to create a new social live streaming platforms that offers e-commerce in it. And in our platforms, we don't want just to create another live streaming or another e-commerce, but we want to create a really new social network, but integrated and based on live streaming. So, what we can offer to the companies, to brands, is they actually can sell in our platforms using live because live creates transparency. So I think towards years to come, and every companies in the world or brands in the world will have to adapt with the live streaming because that is the current and main tools for brands to communicate with their shoppers or audience. Yeah.
Now, one of the things I wanted to ask you about when it comes to live streaming, I've seen a lot of, and of course, we're live streaming today. It's kind of fun. Although we don't have any product to sell, although if you want to buy this shirt, I can sell it to you.
Yeah.
No, but in that case, is there uh, this kind of shift? I've seen a lot of this interesting content pop up where people sell clothes online. They just like go and show the clothes, and then okay, you want to buy this, go ahead, buy it. How is your platform going to like stream content and sell things at the same time? What's your plan there? Because that's kind of like you've got these two worlds, and how do you bring them together?
Okay. In real life, we believe that people wants to watch live not because of the presentation or the gameplay or the what the host presents, but people wants to watch live or buy things from live is because of the individual. So that unique personality of that individual will actually attract their loyal buyers or fans into the platforms compared to other e-commerce platform like Shopee. They are targeting to mass buyers, mass audience. So there will be no personalized interaction between loyal buyers with the loyal brands, with the brands or with the sellers. So in Ula Life, we want to create a new interaction. So if you're gonna sell the products or things, and people would come and buy from you not because of the price, not because of the uh, your followers or followings, because truly because of you, because your personality, your unique personality. So in that way, we think that this will involve a deeper connection, and we believe with the deeper connection, there's a faster transaction in that.
Okay, cool. So now we've got that kind of live streaming content for for items, for things
Yeah.
that are sold. What about live streaming content? I notice a lot of gamers stream live.
Mm.
Are they going to be able to stream live on your platform? And how will that kind of whole world of gaming streaming work?
Okay. Uh, Initially, we plan to create Ula Life is serving the non-gaming content. So we don't want to,
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of platforms serve for gaming content. So we want to serve non-gaming contents. In a few years ahead, 5 years, 6 years to come, there will be new part of stream that is called just chatting. So what it
Mm-hmm.
means by just chatting is people comes and watch stream because of that individual. They want to see the
Mm-hmm.
individual just talking, chatting without playing anything, right? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so without showing anything, they just want to talk because in this pandemic, everyone is lonely, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
they need a quick, faster interaction. So they go for the live streaming where you can always chat and interact with your host. So from that, this just chatting, then there is new streamers came out, which is we call them the lifestyle streamer. So the
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle streamer is opposite to gaming streamers. So
Okay.
this lifestyle streamer keeps rising and they talk broad variety of topics such as finance, travel,
Mm-hmm.
right? So cryptos, these mentors.
Uh-huh.
So everyone's nowadays are looking for those contents, right?
Okay.
Maybe for millennials, for younger kids, they want gaming content, but those adults,
Mm-hmm.
somebody has to serve them the non-gaming content.
Non-gaming. Okay. 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 No, because I'm just kind of like in my world, I'm trying to think where does it fit? In that sense, because it's
Yeah.
I of course happy to see we saw the recent announcement from China last night.
Oh,
Kids under the age of 18 aren't allowed to game more than 3 hours a week, and all the gaming company shares just went
mhm.
boom.
Yeah.
You know, you know. Yeah, because I think that kind of now when we talk about online streaming, online news, online discussions,
Mhm,
we see you develop a community, and once you have that community, you can start to quote unquote sell to that community.
mhm.
Is that kind of community content direction that you're going with Ula Life?
Uh, it's partly yes, because since we are trying to build new social networks, right, that core on live streaming. So yes, community plays an important role for us. So we need to build a creators economy or creators community inside the platform first. We want to provide them an opportunity, a new platform for them just to advertise, just to stream their contents without having to worry who's going to watch. Like in YouTube you have to be competitive, but since it's a social network, so you be able to like, follow each other. You are able to invite your friends into the live as easy as just send invitation direct in the platform, and you can just accept it. So based on the community that we build, then I think if we have the greater community in the platform, then there is where the e-commerce plays part. So if you have the trusted community inside it, so when you want to sell something, you don't have to be worried if you are fake buyer or fake seller, because it is a social networks, right? So we verified you at first. So this prevent another joy buyer or joy bidder or fake seller, because it involves streaming. It involves your face.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot fake it. You cannot yeah. So I think this increase the transparency and trust, so people will benefit from the e-commerce from in the platform.
Nice, nice. Now we've been talking a lot about business straight away. I wanted to get to know you a bit better.
Yeah.
I you are a pilot. Now tell us, how does a pilot go from flying, landing big aeroplanes safely, all around the world, to this idea? What was your journey, to excuse the pun, as a pilot, to get you to Ula Life?
Okay. I have been 8 years in aviation as a co-pilot in Malaysia Airlines. So during that time, I noticed that I developed interest in business. So I have 7 years in business, and during my time as a traveler or uh, aviator, so I have been traveled to a lot of places. So I have the opportunity to see the world in different view. Right. So whenever there is a news all over the world, so I will read it, not just focusing on Southeast Asia or Malaysia, because those are the countries that affected when I am flying into it. So with this different view, so it opens my mind to start a live streaming business. It happens since last year. It's actually when I got involved in esports. So uh, during that time, I have made quite a number of friends in esports community. So that is when I realized that they has this kind of problem. Those underrated streamers, uh, most of the streamers worldwide, only 5% of it actually makes money. So I want you to be able to help those underrated streamers and how to offer a better platform for them to connect. And as the pandemics impact our countries, we see a lot of my colleagues, like cabin crew, they are jobless. We have a housewife, or even pilots, jobless. So I want to help them to be able to uh, earn some money, right? Because um they don't have the business skills. So maybe they, like cabin crew, they are really great in cosmetics, in makeups. So why not you tell the whole country how your fans, how you do your, tell your stories and tell your contents about your what you're passionate about, especially makeup or travels. So with this platform, that is when I got the idea. I want to create this. It doesn't has People doesn't have to be great at something. You can always learn if you want to start, and from there you'll be become a great content creator, because to make a content, it costs maybe a little effort and cost for you, but in Ula Life we want to reduce that frictions. We want you to able to make content without any cost. Or
Mhm. Nice, nice. Now we've got a few comments and questions coming in already. First of all, Mariza, thank you again for joining us from Jakarta. We always love it when you join us, and it's we see some questions around this idea of live streaming,
Mhm.
and the evolving reality of work.
Yep.
Two things. A lot of people, yes, they have a job, or maybe they've recently lost their job.
Mhm.
Um, but they have a lot of skills, they have a lot of stories to tell.
True.
And and the other thing is, a lot of companies, I feel, have started to wake up to the fact that if they don't get their content on social media, because mainstream media doesn't do it all the time, and that kind of streaming reality.
Yeah.
But like a car company or a property company or a cosmetic company, they
Mhm.
need to think differently about streaming strategies.
True.
And I've seen a lot of interesting developments around high value AI avatars
Mm-hmm.
being created to do that. So you mentioned earlier that you want real people on the platform.
Yeah.
But what advice would you give to companies who are not, I mean, they could be like public listed companies or quote unquote real companies who need a streaming strategy? What should they do? Should they develop in house or should they go and find an influencer and build them up? What is a strategy there?
Okay, I think for the companies, the strategy that they need to implement in their companies is actually you need to quickly adapt with the live streaming to advertise your products in the platform. It's because we'll see from the live streaming, there have been a new celebrities created from influencers or content creators. Okay, this you need to engage these influencers or content creators to advertise your products, right? By means using live streaming. So if you don't adapt that fast, you are going to miss out, and every other companies will do it. So in 5 to 7 years, I am expecting that these futures influencers or content creators who eventually will become celebrities will replace the conventional like endorsed artists or actress or singers to put as their face of the brands. So these upcoming influencers uh, through social media platforms, they will replace every traditional endorsed singers
Okay.
or athletes to
Hmm.
be the spokesperson of the brands. Yeah, so the
Okay,
company
nice.
needs to do something.
Okay, nice. So Rosanna from New South Asia has also asked us a question. There's plenty of other live streaming platforms, IG, YouTube, and all these kind of things.
Mhm.
What are the challenges for you dealing with them, and
Okay.
what's the difference? How do we differentiate these two things? And I just want to say hi to Mona and Zulaika also for joining us today. Before you get to your answer, go over to you.
All right. So if you want to differentiate it, you have to understand the technical part. So I'm going to talk a bit about technical. So like we are using now, it implements the technology RTSP, meaning the real-time streaming protocol. You got to talk to me one-to-one with a very low latency delay, less than 2 seconds, maybe. But if you
Mhm.
do Facebook Live, one to many, they are using RTMP, real-time messaging protocol, which have a 15-second delays maximum, right?
Mhm.
So in real life, I can able I will be able to talk to you and many other guests with less than 1 second delay to
Mhm.
thousands of viewers. And the best
Okay.
part is what makes us differentiate is because we are a social network. Means you don't need my email, you don't need my invitation. I can just send you or follow you. Then let's live, right?
Mhm.
And in the live stream, you can just straight maybe Nordin, you want to sell your shirts right now, right?
Yeah.
You can just buy it from here right now, right?
Okay,
So
great.
if every guest, like every celebrities in one live, and we can just immediately sell the products, it will be fun, right? Everyone is
Yeah.
getting the products. Yeah. So
Yeah.
what makes us really different is because we are the combination of both e-commerce and the live streaming. So if you think of Shopee, it's an e-commerce, they cannot be a social network, right? If you think
Mhm.
Facebook is a social network, they cannot be an e-commerce. So because
Mhm.
they have their pillars, they cannot change. Yeah, it will disrupt their platform. So since we are startup, so we are be able to mix both the best of the both world. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. No, it's just interesting to see how this technology is changing, and you're talking about this in a sense massive delay. So you're going from 15 seconds to 2 seconds to 1 second, and that impact delivering goods and services to people. Now, I want to go back to this idea of influencers, and kind of the evolving idea of influencers.
Yeah.
Yes, there used to be like, okay, movie stars, and I think movie stars will still be, still be influencers. Athletes will still be influencers.
Yeah.
What would you say to, we saw the Olympics recently, and everyone was mad crazy about Farah Ann. Everyone was mad crazy about our divers, our cyclists. And there was this massive spike in social media, and they were like super duper famous for a week, maybe two. And then all of a sudden, nobody's talking to them. Nobody's talking about them.
Yeah.
Could they? Because if you win a gold medal, this is how much you get, and your sponsors. But now, would it be a new form of revenue for these athletes? That, okay, get them on your platform, build up. I mean, maybe I'm trying to think of the cyclist who got the silver medal. My God, I'm going to be shot later.
Azizul.
Sorry?
Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah, that was Azizo, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if he was selling bikes,
Mm-hmm.
if he was selling bikes that week, I think he would have sold thousands. I know his bike is worth like ringgit.
Yep.
But if he was selling bikes, he would be would nail it. And I noticed in where I stay in Kuala Lumpur, after he won the silver medal, I was walking around in Bangsa, and there's a couple of bike shops, and everyone was going to buy bikes. It was like, oh, I got to go and ride a bike. And I was like, yeah, I kind of feel like riding a bike too. But is that a change in what we are seeing? Is a change in what is possible for people who are now enjoying some kind of media profile, and especially those kind of athletes who are, I would say, semi-professional. You're not earning millions yet, like an NBA basketballer or an IPL cricketer. What are your thoughts there?
Okay. Firstly, I think that most of the platform, they are not designed and built for influencers at first place. So we see these methods and we want to implement in our platform. That is when we created the subscription content for these influencers or well-known people. Okay, because
Mm-hmm.
of the platform, if you have a 1 million followers, it doesn't reflect your income, right? So how do you want to monetize your followers, right? How do you
Mm-hmm.
want to able to make something out of it? You have a huge number of followers. Now what should you do? So in real life, we want to able to convert your followers or your brands into numbers. We want to convert them into your recurring revenue, recurring income.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are the cyclist, the Azizul, right, if you come to our platform, you have a huge number of followers, and you can just talk about bicycle, right? So everyone is subscribed to your contents, and with a little amount of money, so now you have the recurring revenue, recurring income for your, yeah, you did that you don't have to worry every single month, right? So in that account, if you want to sell your bike, people will buy your bike. It's because of you. You are the cyclist or you are Farah Ann. Compared if you want to advertise in Muda, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
advertise in Instagram or Facebook, right? So people wants to buy that bike because not because it's cheap, not because it won the Olympic. It's because of you, that unique
Mm-hmm.
individual, that unique name. So that's what we embodied in our platform. We want the that deep connection between the buyer or seller or the viewers and the host. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. Hi, Mo and Ahmed. Thanks for joining us, and I appreciate all your comments over the weeks. And one of the things that now we see some comments here around on popularity. So you're saying it doesn't matter how, in a sense, how popular you are, you can still generate income if you get the equation right.
Yep. So
Okay.
it depends on every content creator start from zero, because if you are first in creating the content, so
Mm-hmm.
you need to be able to learn how to create a great content. So in real life, you don't have to worry about getting the income. You just need to focus on making a great content. So when
Mm-hmm.
you make a great content, inshallah, everything will come smooth, right? Because we
Okay.
deliver that the rest of things.
Exactly. And I think this is where a lot of companies, I think, find it difficult. And there's some questions around influencer marketing and how effective it is.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things when we talk about getting this equation right, because a lot of companies very simple. Okay, I'm going to spend 100,000 ringgit here, and now I want to get $1 million of revenue. Or okay, I give you 1,000, then you give me 10,000. Like
Yeah,
it's still very equation. It's very okay. I spend this, I want that in return.
yeah.
What is the evolving reality of influencer marketing,
Mm-hmm.
and is it more long term than because everyone was like, oh, my video went viral, and a great success. You feel happy. Oh, look, thousands of people looked at my show,
Mm-hmm.
or thousands of people looked at my tweet.
Mm-hmm.
But what is the evolving reality of influencer marketing?
Okay, this question, it depends on the type of the companies, what they offer or what is the
Mm-hmm.
product. Let's say this company A is hiring these influencers, right? So
Mm-hmm.
this company A opens account in our platforms, and then you hire influencers to advertise your products in your life using these influencers, right? So
Mm-hmm.
people will come and purchase or add to cart everything that because it's because of the influencers. The influencer is promoting it, right? Okay, so that is the situation A. So let's say situation B. Let's say you provide service or you provide contents as your revenue. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
let's say you are Zoo Negara, right? So everyone, when
Mm-hmm.
I watch Zoo during this pandemic every week, right, every day.
Yeah.
So you can just subscribe the Zoo content in the platform, because Zoo, they need to
Mm-hmm.
make money too, right? They
Yeah.
need to, but there has no platform that you have will be able to subscribe or donate, right? And we want
Mm-hmm.
transparency in that. So I think what we offer is the best of both situation in order for them to make the revenue, because in a certain shade you can always hire many influencers to promote it, and
Mm-hmm.
it could be monthly or one time off. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it depends also.
Okay. Cool. Now, I want you to talk now to the idea of an influencer. If there's a young person out there, or an old person, or or even a professor, or a stewardess, or anyone who's doing something interesting, what would your advice be to someone who wants to be a content-driven influencer, who wants to do this not just for the fun of it, but for generating real revenue that can replace a job, or become a full-time income?
Okay. You need to be able to accept the rejections, and you don't have to worry about the numbers at the beginnings, because eventually it will rise up and you will slowly build up your community, and that's the most important thing. And the last part is you need to focus on making a good content for your audience, because they crave for the good contents. They want contents that really deliver the message instead of just contents that uh, offers nothing. So you need to only focus on creating the content and put your content out there on the platform, and eventually you will build your community, and later on you will start monetize. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Afam, before we close, I was just thinking you should create a Ulala Academy for influencer training.
Yeah.
It's just an idea. Maybe I'll send you a proposal. But the idea I think is I think this idea of evolving people's earning capacity is very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think what's kind of also interesting for me is okay, you've got your full time job. You've got your work.
Yeah.
Maybe after work, okay, at 6 o'clock every day, I'm going to do my influencer content, and it doesn't impact your day to day work.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that as a trend where this is your what do you call it? Your second income.
Mhm.
That possibility of creating a second income stream.
Um, right now, for most of the people, if they have the full-time job or they don't have the full-time job, they do the gig economy gig job, right? So like you are an grab food drivers, or you are doing at Fiverr, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this gig economy has been there. So the next one they will getting broad is content economy, okay, the creators economy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
most of the kids aspire to be a content because they want to be able to sit at home while earning money, right? It's everyone dreams, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so many content creators will be getting there. Yeah.
Okay, cool, cool. No, it's really interesting, an interesting thing, and I think maybe we've got to get you back on the show. And I know one of the things that we're interested in is understanding influences. Because influences influence people,
Yeah.
but how do you influence the influencer? In terms of getting them excited about a particular story or getting them excited about a particular trend is actually a very key dynamic, which I think a lot of companies are struggling with at the moment. So hopefully we can see you again on a working lunch with Nordin and what we're doing with the Malaysia Global Business Forum. So for all of you who have joined us today, thank you very much for your comments, very very much for your questions. And Afam, over to you for the final word.
Okay, if you anyone out there who wants to start a business or content, uh, please start it now, because now is the best time to start anything. Really, it has the biggest opportunity during this pandemic, so you must start now. That's it.
Brilliant, brilliant. You're a natural. I don't know how you ended up as an airline pilot. Yes.
Yeah.
So, but I glad to see what you're doing with Ula Life, and we're excited to see the growth of the company. So, Afam, thank you for joining us, and thank you for everyone else for joining us. And we'll see you again next week on a working lunch with Norden.
Thank you, Nordin, for inviting. Thank you, everyone.